Hey, Chushan here. Welcome back to my podcast. I'm a hearing mom of a deaf child, and in this podcast, I'm sharing my story of raising my deaf daughter in Germany. In this episode, I'm talking about self care. I'm sharing important habits that I have to keep up with my daily life, daily stress, and so on. Hopefully, it will be interesting. Please like if so, leave a comment, and yeah. Hope you will enjoy. Bye. Happy to be back. For the last 2 weeks was no episode whatsoever because was trying to take some time for myself, relax, and I was also traveling. Was in Italy. Was really nice food, nice weather, nice people. As always, it's pleasure to be there and spend time in Italy. And also, it's ultimate recharging plan for me as a mom. I don't know. You can add a lot of titles there: full-time working mom, a mom for a kid for special needs, and for me, I understood that spending some time alone, away from my family is really a nice way to recharge because, of course, all day you are spending with your family, with your kids, and sometimes just being away is a nice way to recharge yourself. So. Uh, Together with my husband, we are doing, of course, 2 times family vacation. We go all together somewhere nice, usually very child-friendly places. And then 1 time or 2 times, we also organize solo vacations for us. And it was a really nice idea that we had. And I believe maybe a lot of families are doing like that. If not, I would definitely suggest. So, especially for us, as we are living in Germany, but we are not from here. So we just moved 5 years ago, and we don't have any helping hands like grandma or grandpa or a constant babysitter. That's why it's so much important for us to find a way to recharge ourselves. And one way is that we, of course, try to organize family vacations more in a relaxing environment. So in a nice hotel or in, seaside and so on. Not, I mean, we understood for ourselves that it's a bit of a exhausting experience when you are traveling with a small child, I don't know, to cities, and you are a bit away from nature, and you need to have like kind of strict schedule to go this museum, that museum, and so on. So, and at the same time, we want to travel because, it's so affordable and accessible if you are living in Europe to travel around all the countries here. So that's why it was our decision to have solo vacations and vacations with friends. It's super cool. Like. I was reflecting a lot how much self care is important for everyone, but especially for us as parents, and especially for parents that have kids with special needs, because we tend to take care of our kids every day, and we tend to think about them more than about ourselves. I just understood for myself that taking care of me is it's very rewarding, and it's also uh, bringing me a lot of power and motivation to continue the work that I do with my deaf daughter. So of course it includes continue learning German Sign Language as we live in Germany, continue to learn German language because I'm from Armenia, and the language is still a foreign language for me. Continue to build a new networking here as a foreign trainer, of course, continue to learn about the culture itself. Even if I am traveling around here or there, it's still about learning about different cultures, habits, and so on. And each and every time something is changing inside of you, and it's a process, and it takes a lot of energy, time, concentration, and so on. Yeah, and that's why I think whenever I'm not prioritizing to take care of myself, I feel right away how much it's affecting the relationship that I have with my daughter, or the relationship in our family with my husband, and so on. Because then I tend to be more, stressed, or I'm more into my mind, and I want to be alone all the time, and so on. And it's not really cool. It's a bit of a dark side of me, let's say. And for me, I understood and set up some habits that is helping me a lot to keep up with this hectic life, and keep up with all the extra work that I have on my shoulders, together with the routine that I have, work, and so on. And today, I think I would like to a bit share the habits that I have. It can be helpful not only for parents. I think it can also be helpful for anyone who doesn't have any kids, because self-care is nevertheless important, in any age or in any circumstances. But I think, as a parent, especially for kids with special needs, it's mandatory, I would say, to take care of yourself. And if you are, I don't know, you don't have kids, you're just living your life, and so on, maybe sometimes you can skip, and so on. So when my daughter was born, I think for the first 2 years, I wasn't really thinking of myself. I wasn't a priority for myself, even though before I was very, active person, very healthy. So from 19 years old, I was always doing regular sport, martial arts, and eating healthy food. Not. Of course, as a student, you drink a lot, you smoke and stuff like that, but over the time I was prioritizing more sport and healthy food. So I was very healthy in a way, and very much aware of what I'm doing with my health overall. And when I had my child, and I understood that she's deaf and so on, of course, I have a podcast around it, how challenging it is, and so on, to raise a deaf child. But at the beginning, I forgot everything that I was doing, like habits that I already developed. And for 2 years, I was mainly concentrated on my daughter, and understanding this new life that I need to figure out. So, but after some time, I am so happy that I again understood that no, I cannot continue this way if I will not do sport, if I will not, take care of my health, or what I eat, and so on. Because of course, over the time, I was gaining a lot of weight. And I wasn't feeling good, because it wasn't normal, or something that I used to. So once I started to do going to the gym, having a personal trainer back in Armenia, and taking care of the food, and so on, I started to feel more energized. I started to feel more motivated, and like, oh my God, I can do everything mode was turned on. And I think that's also helped me to make the decision, and together with my husband and daughter, moved from moving from Armenia to Germany. And main decision to move was, of course, for my daughter, because we couldn't find any care for my deaf daughter there, and it was really struggle and stress for us as young parents. So I'm really happy that we make the decision. I don't have any regrets whatsoever. But I also understand, if I wouldn't take care of myself, if I wouldn't, build up my self esteem and self confidence again after pregnancy, it would be so much challenging or hard to make that decision and completely change our lives. And after moving to Germany, I was trying to keep up with my habits of doing sport and eating healthy and so on. But then another, wave of stress came. It's the relocation stress. It's to understand this new culture, and especially Germany. It's so different from Armenia. If you compare, Armenia is more like Italy, let's say. We have really the culture and the weather, everything is different in Armenia, and in Germany, in Berlin especially, it's all different. And of course, it doesn't matter how young you are or how flexible you are, you need time to adjust, and you need, of course, time to adjust, especially if you are moving because of your child, because of their needs and so on. So I started, all that language learning in parallel with my full-time work, and also work culture was different for me. All day I had to speak English or learn German and German sign language. So what was quite challenging, I would say. And again, I forgot to take care of myself. I forgot to prioritize myself, and everything was about Sophia again. And it continued for about, again, 2 years. So basically, after having pregnancy, I started to care, and then the drop, and then again and again. And when she was around 4 or 5 years old, I end up with depression, with anxiety. I had a lot of therapies here, but I found very good specialists, so they have helped me a lot. So I'm very grateful that I met right people at right time of my life. But then, no therapy is really helping you if you are not setting up your habits that is going to help you to stay on the surface, and control all these waves that are coming to your way. So all the history that I had with my habits, it helped me again for the last 1 year or 1.5 years to set up again healthy habits for me, so I can again keep up with all the challenges that I have in my life, and also, to build up again my self-esteem and self-confidence, because those things are, very floating. You can have it for 2 months, and then it can go down and again up and again down. So I really think that it's an important topic, for everyone, right? So then I started my to set up healthy habits again, and I would like maybe to share some of them can be helpful, or you can always leave a comment and say, oh my god, was bullshit, or was I would love to try, and it I've tried and it was nice. So first thing that I always prioritize whenever I'm coming back to setting up those habits is sport, of course, because sport is, I think, the important pillar for us to feel energized, to feel like for me, like a normal person again, and not a vegetable, to be honest. Or maybe it's because that I have a long history of being active sport wise, and that's why whenever I'm not doing it, I'm feeling very much down, and I feel a lot of tension in my body and so on. So it was very hard for me to find a sport again that I would like to do, that is talking to my current life, right? So before I was doing martial arts, so Wing Chun, Kung Fu, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and those are very heavy activities that one can choose and do. I was running, so I was, I think 4 or 5 times per week I had some kind of sport activities. I was cycling a lot, hiking, and stuff like that. But now I cannot afford to have all of that because I really like to spend time with my family. I really like to spend evening time with my daughter because now she's in an age that she talks a lot. She communicates a lot with German Sign Language, and it's so happy moments for me because we did a lot of work. So she would be able to grab with the language, right? So that's why evenings I really like to spend with her. I like to talk to her, and then we can talk to like 30 minutes, 1 hour, and this is, something like a dream came true for me because like 2 years ago I was dreaming of having a full conversation with my daughter, like how was your day, what you did, what you would like to do. This kind of things was a dream for me, and that's why I enjoy every moment of it. So that's why I was thinking a lot and reflecting to find some kind of sport that it's easy to do in a way in terms of time, but at the same time it has some challenge in it because I cannot just if within the sport there is no any challenge, I cannot really do that because it's becoming very boring activity for me. First, I was trying to go back to martial arts, to go back to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, especially that my husband is also going to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and I thought that this could be a nice way to, have some activities or be in a community together. But then I kind of understood that it's a lot of work, and physically it's quite hard now for me to do because for 6 or 7 years I haven't done any martial arts whatsoever. So then I've decided to try out and do Pilates because first all the time I'm sitting and working, and it's I have to take care of my spine definitely, and I also thought that Pilates is challenging in a way because it's not easy exercises there. I've tried yoga, but I didn't really like it because I relax when I do a lot of challenging sport activities rather than I need relaxation, like breathing and these kind of things through the yoga. So that's why I've decided to try Pilates. And for 1 year already, I think I started last year February, so exactly 1 year, once or twice per week, I'm going to Pilates classes in a studio, so very authentic Pilates place I have found nearby, and it was the best decision I have ever made. And I would definitely suggest to find a sport place that is in a walking distance from your place, because like in Berlin, this is such a huge city. If every time I would need to take public transport and go 30 minutes or 40 minutes to the sport venue, I would never do that because I wouldn't have that energy up to work. So I got quite lucky to find this Pilates place nearby, and I just walk 10 minutes and the studio is there. I really like the teacher. I like the community there. And I also like, that, yeah, it's just nice, challenging. I'm not getting bored because it's not easy to do. And every time after the training, I feel like after a good massage, my spine feels good. I don't have any pain. Yeah, I feel relaxed, and I feel that I've accomplished something, and I did something for myself. That's very much important to have that feeling. So, yeah, I would just suggest to find a sport first that is going to bring you joy in a way that you like, and it's not hard to organize. It should be very easy to organize, so you will not spend any will or power, extra energy in order to make it happen, right? And I would definitely also suggest to start sport after a long pause a bit with gradually, like let's say first I started 3 times per month, then four, then I don't know, 6, 7, something like that, so your body will adjust to the new habit gradually rather than right away you start and then your body is like, wow, 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 dude, leave me alone, I just want to live my life. So, for example, I have started doing Pilates for I think 4 months, and only after that I started to gradually change my eating habits. Because if you, from my experience, if you are doing all together from Monday, it's never going to work out. So first you set up one habit, you and I think for any habit you need 3 to 4 months to call it a habit, but I would say that 6 to 1 year is the core of your body and mind to finally accept that this is mine, this is my habit, I'm living with that, right? So after 4 months, I have also started to gradually change my eating habits. So before, I think I was having, I was eating a lot of sugar, consuming a lot of sugar, chocolates, cakes, a lot of carbs, unnecessary. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Unnecessary. So I was eating a lot of cakes, I don't know, chocolate, unnecessary carbs, and then of course I was gaining weight, because if you are eating carbs and you are not, I mean, burning all that calories, then it's becoming to be a fat. So that how our body functions and works. So that's why I've also quite lucky that I found really nice YouTube channel. I forgot her name, but a girl that I follow, and she's suggesting a lot of nice exercises and diet that you can do in order to lose some weight. Of course, it's I've moved to now, I think, more mainstream, more like a high protein diet, and I've gradually started to consume less and less carbs. I started around 8 months ago to gradually moved to high protein diet, and now I feel very much relaxed and confident to not have carbs in my daily life, and I feel good in a way that, if you are having more high protein diet, you don't have these ups and downs when you will have if you are consuming a lot of carbs. And I've lost around 10 or 12 kilogram within this 8 to 10 months, gradually, not really fast, and that was really cool feeling for me, right? So I felt very energized, my self-esteem and self-confidence again went up, and yeah, I just feel lighter, happier, and I see myself very fit. I was always fit, so that's why I feel like myself again. And I feel that I am in control of decisions that I'm making in terms of sport, in terms of food intake. And I think that's very much important for me. And maybe you are like me, you like to have control over situation. It gives you some kind of, like, whew, everything is cool. So this is giving me that feeling, and also this gives me a feeling that I'm taking care of myself and I'm thinking about myself when I'm doing grocery shopping or whenever I am prioritizing what I should do in my free time. And even when I was in Italy, I was really surprised how much deep my habits were about the food intake, about carbs and so on, and how much mindful I was. That I spent 1 week in Italy. I've tried all the nice foods there, but in the end, I lost, around 1 kilogram and so on, because I was walking a lot. I was prioritizing that if I'm not hungry, I'm not eating. So I didn't overeat. So if I wasn't feeling that I need to eat tiramisu, I wasn't, and before, like 2 or 3 years ago, when I was in my high stress situation, I would eat whatever just to, calm that inner anxiety that I had. And, stress eating was the thing for me. And I'm very much happy for me and proud that over the year I was able to set up this habit that now I'm mindful when it comes to food intake. And yeah, I just know what I should eat, when at the same time I'm not restricting myself. So if I want to eat pasta bolognese or whatever, I'm going to eat it, but then I will be mindful to eat it during the lunchtime rather than during the dinner time, and then feel heavy all over my body. And then once I ate that heavy meal, for the 6 or 7 hours afterwards, I'm not eating anything because my body doesn't need anything to eat, because it was a full heavy calorie meal, right? So this, I'm very happy that it's already set up habit. And nowadays, I'm very chill when it comes to food. I If I don't feel like consuming a lot or having a lot of carbs because I don't need that extra energy, I'm not eating it. And it's so much now relaxed and chill, rather than about controlling and stressing about it. So it means that it's a full setup habit, and I'm very proud of it, right? Uh, these two things, I think, very much important for me, as this gives me that feeling, as I said, of control, and this also helps me to, yeah, just be happy, not be stressed, have a good relationship with my family, with my friends, or within the communities that I am in. And on top of it, it's also social gatherings that is very much helping to find find and keep my energy. It's like meeting my friends at least twice a month, organize some activities there that is purely based on my interest, rather than surrounded around my deaf daughter and her needs and so on. So I try to go to movie theater with my friends. If there is any cultural events, I try to also go with them. I try to, if I like stand up comedy, or I like, I don't know, concerts and so on, I try to buy tickets in advance, organize it. And same does my husband. He also has his interest, and we always support each other. So if he has, I don't know, he wants to go to a trip for 1 week or whatever, I will, organize that. So I will support him in that. And if he likes to go to this concert or that, we support each other. So there is no any jealousy around it to say, oh my God, I'm staying with the child and you are going and enjoying your life. So we try to very much support each other, and I greatly value that relationship that we have built together. And sometimes, if of course in each family you can have misunderstanding, you can have some disagreements and so on, but I always remind myself that we both in the same situation, we both expats, we both working full time, and we both have a deaf child, and we both do extra learning in order to keep up with her, in order to support her. And it's not easy for both of us. So that's really helping me to be very close with my husband, and be very open around any issues that we might have, talk about it, vocalize, and of course, as I said, support one another to take these recharging vacations, and not be mad around it, right? That 1 week I'm staying alone with the child and you are going here or there. And we both understand how much it's important for us to be a bit away from our responsibilities, and be away of your regular life activities for a while during a year. So Yeah, I think today's episode was more like in this context because that what I was reflecting those days, that what I was embracing, and I felt very grateful of the life that we have built around our problems, because in a way, what is life if you don't have problems to solve, or if easy life is a boring life, I would say, and you can get too bored. And I think it's just as I said, in sport I like to have challenges, maybe also I like to have some challenges in life. And I think that's what makes it interesting, because if you have challenges, if you have problems, you also find solutions around them, and you are constantly upgrading yourself, you are constantly becoming another version of yourself, which I really like. I really like to go back in my memories and say, oh my god, I've changed a lot, and now I have this or that, and before I wouldn't even dream about it. So that's really cool. I really like it. It keeps me motivated, and it keeps me, also very much curious around the life itself, what's going to be the next, or how it's going to be changed in a good way, bad way, whatever. But yeah, I always like to say, in Armenia we always say, there is no bad without good things in it. So that's, I think, my life motto. And yeah, all whatever happens, I always try to find good in it, and I always say that then, yeah, was some kind of reason behind it. Of course sometimes shit happens, and there is it's just shit, but if you look back, every bad thing somehow teach you something, and now you are a different person. And yeah, that's just life, and I think that's cool. Right. So this was the topic of today's episode. I could summarize maybe as it's self care, some habits for you to set up to, do the surfing around the life waves, and hopefully you liked it. And yeah, write a comment, subscribe, follow here and there. So I'm very much getting excited when I see a new subscription, or when I see a comment under the video. So it's really cool. Keeps me motivated to continue this hobby that I have. And yeah, just thank you for watching till here. See you next time. Bye bye.